Hola, me llamo Brian Rodríguez. Suscríbete a 110 Fútbol.
What's up, everybody? It's a huge week for LAFC. We're talking about another big win for the Black and Gold, and we have a pretty fun class of 22 for you guys.
Do not forget the highly anticipated player ratings from the Orlando game. See who got top billing. And yes, of course, we get ready for the Clásico. Galaxy LAFC coming your way on Saturday.
Big week. You don't want to miss anything. This is LAFC 360.
You weren't sold on the point, right?
Now, really get it. Yeah, there you go. There.
Welcome back to another episode of LAFC 360. It is always fun to do a show coming off another win, am I right? We want to see your questions and comments. Get them in now, all show long. Don't be shy. We'll answer everything. It's a huge week, as you all know. On that note, let me introduce our wonderful panel, if we can call it a panel. It's the regulars. Jessica Black, have a good weekend?
Yeah, good weekend. Happy to be back talking after a win. So, yeah, I'm getting used to this.
Yeah, I like that.
Jessica's missing a very important game to be here with us, so we should
be
very
Arsenal
happy
Palace.
that she's here.
You can give some Arsenal Palace updates. No updates? You don't know updates?
No updates, please.
No updates. Vince LaRosa, as always. That's a good intro.
I live in this chair.
You are Mr. 110.
That's
you
what
and
they
Connor.
say. Me and Connor. Well, Connor's not around for a little bit, so.
I know, exactly. So you are Mr.
Guess it all falls on me.
Yes.
Hey guys, before we get into it, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. We just reached 1,000. I think we're at like 1,020 some odd, 2,000 right around the corner.
That's good.
Like this video and click on the bell icon to be notified of our new videos like these lives that we do. All right, like Max mentioned, LAFC are coming off another 3 points, this time against a formidable Orlando side. Let's hit the ground running on today's show with the biggest topics floating around social media. It's time for
Hashtag trending.
Really? Really?
It sounded good.
Oh, we should have harmonized then.
Hashtag trending.
Yeah, you should have gone low. I go high. No.
Hashtag trending.
Jessica's like, can we just talk about
Still don't
football?
understand the move.
Maybe a nice falsetto.
I don't know. It's better than Max's point was.
It's not like a slash or it's, you should be like hashtag trending.
Oh, I like that.
Oh. Well, why don't you step in and do it then?
I don't know. Y'all were like really
yeah, we're the worst.
in it with that.
We are the worst. All right, let's talk about this weekend's match. And the thing front of mind for me was how LAFC weathered a storm in Orlando. And not just talking about the weather, although that Miami game got pushed back quite a bit.
There was reports that we were on standby that we would have had to have a delay in the broadcast because they were expecting similar weather in Orlando. We got lucky.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But Jessica, front of mind when I'm thinking about weathering the storm, I'm thinking of how the first half and the second half were very different.
Yeah.
Worked out LAFC's way, but how did you see this match?
Well, just like in the live stream that you guys were doing the watch along, right before I came on, I was going to say, we just haven't gotten going. Like, we just really weren't clicking. And obviously, like, that was before we had scored our goal. It felt like we were a little bit disjointed, a little bit just, I don't know, confused. I'm not sure what was going on. And then we scored the goal, and then it seemed like we settled a little bit. Obviously, there was still some back and forth there because we gave up some more goals and got ahead. And it just seemed like the type of game where we had to kind of like work through it and just kind of work through the kinks. Mm-hmm. There's some things to discuss, obviously slow starts and things like that, but we came out 4-2, which is, I think, the most important point here. And not every single game is going to be the same. We're not going to just blow through teams or win 2-0. There's going to be bumps in the road, and I'm glad to see that we work through it. Definitely a tale of two halves, and it leaves us with some conversation pieces. But I mean, I'm happy about it. When your team comes through, it's good. I mean, if we had drawn the game 2-2, I think would have been like, oh man, but 4-2, I mean.
Give up multiple leads on the road.
Yeah.
We do have to point that out. We should point that out.
There's definitely things to talk about.
And Orlando definitely looked the more dangerous team. I think they probably created a lot more of the bigger chances. But that's a good Orlando team, right?
I was really impressed with Orlando. And I spoke to some of the folks at Orlando City, and they said, this is an important game for the guys. This is a game where we want to send a message to show that we have arrived. Mm-hmm. They had their older DPs in there. They came, and you could see it the way they played. They came out in that 45, and they emptied it. And then they had nothing in the second half. So LAFC was able to really absorb a lot of that. not have the perfect game and then execute it. If LAFC lost this game, you go, okay, you can't go win all these road games unless you don't win road games. Cross country, but they won this game and they won it going away at the end. It's a wonderful sign when we can even say that they are still so far from hitting that ceiling, which they are.
If you're willing to maybe throw it away, then can you really take too much from being like, well, we did it, we pulled it out? I mean, but to your point, Max, second half, they were really good. Like bringing on Sifu, the way they can kind of control the game. I guess it was just all about control in this game.
Yeah, we needed a little bit of control, a little bit of energy, a little bit of organization. Early on in the match, you can see that there was a loss of defensive stability that we had kind of seen us gaining over the last couple of games, and we lost that a little bit. But I guess this kind of, we'll talk about the second half and obviously the goals and the excitement from that. We have a section on Brian Rodriguez. But before we get there, our next trending topic is about the worrisome, maybe, trend of starting off games slow. This has been a trend for LAFC this season, and even though we're turning the games around and getting the results, at some point this has to bite us in the butt, right? So is this just sluggishness, or is that a word, sluggishness?
It sure
Yes,
is.
it is now.
Sluggishness?
No, it is, and it was, and it is.
Okay, sluggishness after the international break, or is this maybe a lack of focus? What do you think it is, Vince?
It's a bad habit.
It's definitely
It's a bad habit you want to get rid of, and LAFC could have paid a heavier price. There's no doubt about it. There was a lot of moments where Orlando could have scored another one in that first half. It was there, and they were peppering the Maxime Crépeau goal. So they've been fortunate. They've made the right calls coming out into the second half, when they've made some adjustments. But eventually, you're not going to fall behind games and come back and win them or tie them. They're gonna pay a price. So you want to get out of that habit. If you see it in another game, you'll start to figure out. And just looking at some of the comments, there are some people that are really happy about that second half. Luis Reyes, the midfield was rough in the first half. That was maybe an adjustment that they were able to make. The adjustments are fine, but you want to win some games from the front. It's a bad habit.
As the season wears on, you can't do this. The amount of energy you have to expend to kind of figure out the problems. And Orlando really presented them with some problems. I think that they looked at the lineup and thought, oh, interesting. Okay, Cara is going to actually be up top, and Pato is going to be on the field with Facundo Torres and with Perez. So, I mean, Orlando came out with a really strong attacking lineup, but that was the first time we really had to deal with almost two true forwards, right? Because Pato was going to sit a little bit in the hole. Cara was going to go forward. He was going to nod down those balls, which led to the second goal. I felt like the defense had some struggles passing off players because maybe they weren't quite ready. I don't think that's a focus. I just think that even though they were prepared for the type of profile players they just really haven't seen it. So they had to grow into the game.
I feel like usually when we play, like Murray and Fall are really aggressive and physically able to dominate strikers, but then you come up against two 6'3", 6'4" type guys that are definitely there to throw their weight around, and you're like, oh, wow, we're in a game. And their game plan was really, really solid at the beginning. So I do think that we struggled, but we rebounded. It's just about how do we start off fast without giving up all these goals too, you know.
Yeah, J. David Wallace kind of echoes your point. Orlando is good. Back was not communicating well, resulting in 2 goals against. So you had that. You finished with four goals on the road. We had 4 goals a game once all in 2021. We had 6 goal games going way back. But this is
we simply
big number goal games rare.
Period. Yeah. It's not about scoring not just scoring goals on the road. We weren't winning on the road, period. So at least they're figuring it out. But yeah, a lot fell to Ryan Hollingshead's plate where, like you said, I thought the center backs were good at being aggressive and really being physical with forwards. It didn't seem like they were engaged as much with Cara as Ryan. I don't know if that was dictated by the game plan, but it seemed like the game plan was to let Ryan Hollingshead get in with Cara. And he's tall, he can win some headers, but Murray and Fall aren't short.
Shouting out Gomez Jr., our defense is on track to be in the Golden Boot race now. So Hollingshead's got 2.
Yep.
Fall's got 1, and now Murillo's got 1. So, I mean, if they give up a goal, how about that for a defense to respond?
Cheeky needs to get on it. I couldn't believe Murray was so far up. Like, it took me a while to be like, well, how did he get up
when
there?
You're watching that and you see in the monitor all of a sudden, woo, this streaking guy, and were you going to call out somebody's name first, or did you take the time to really be like,
I looked
that's
at
Murray?
That's Jesus. And he almost scored the goal at the end, which ended up being Mahalo's goal. So
that was wild.
Getting in those positions, it was crazy. It was a crazy game. You're not going to see a game like this, and part of it's Orlando coming out the way they did. So more power to them. I wish we'd see more games like this.
During the game, Connor joked with me. He goes, "What if you put Ibiaga up top and just had Ibiaga as a center forward, and we end up with Murray as a center forward at the end of the game?" So he's a something there.
Hey.
The next hashtag trending is Brian Rodriguez, and we've talked about him, how important people are talking about it.
They love it.
This is copyrighted, so I can't really do
Yeah.
it. So Brian Rodriguez getting his first goal, and we were talking about how it would do wonders for him, and you could see the body language. He's deserved it. He's done so many things, but everyone talks about where is the Brian Rodriguez goal. So he got one. I called it gorgeous. Was that too strong of on the broadcast?
I mean, the entire move was
beautiful.
gorgeous. I mean, the pass from Carlos
Little half
Vela.
volley, boom, with the water coming off the net.
Yeah, I would say the pass from Vela and the pass from Chicho. High level of difficulty, both.
Yeah, it was a good team goal.
Yeah, but it's good for Brian. In a game that maybe he's been more productive in other games, but he gets a goal here.
Yeah, I mean, good players sometimes can be like ghosting in games, and you're like, what is he actually doing? And then all of a sudden, bam, there's a goal and assist. And so B-Rod getting that, I think, is really important for him because now he's off the mark. He has that weight off of his shoulders, like I got my first goal. And that's always a good thing for somebody who has such a big responsibility in this LAFC team. I don't think that means that all of a sudden we should turn around and be like, okay, you need to be scoring every single game. But for him, hopefully it gives him that confidence that even when he's not doing the things that he really loves to do, you know, running at defenders and stuff like that, that he can still be, not useful, that's the wrong word, still get himself into that game.
Yeah, no, he needs to go back and watch this tape and say, okay, when I can't be an impact in the ways I really want to, which he's going to watch his 1v1s and go.
Impactful, that's the word I was looking for.
His impact. He didn't do anything with his 1v1s, but against the ball, defensively, he was actually really helping out, and they needed him because Orlando was definitely overloading with their fullbacks and getting them high, and they really needed a winger to help out in that instance. But two, he needs to say, okay, yes, I can dribble, and my dribbling is a weapon, but you know what else is a weapon? If I just get into dangerous areas and I sprint to that spot right in the middle of the box, I can finish, I can get some easy tap. That wasn't a tap-in, but maybe you get some tap-ins going forward. But I can get some easy goals and really help my team, even in ways where, like you said, it's not what he loves.
Yeah.
But everyone loves scoring goals.
Yeah.
I always remember Brian Rodriguez when he wasn't hitting on all cylinders the last 2 years. He was always the first guy substituted. It seems like he goes the duration of the game. I think he got pulled out late in this one.
Yeah.
But he's close to a 90-minute guy every game. That is just a big alert that he is invaluable to what LAFC is doing in result making. He's out there. So all the little things that you may not see, he's clearly doing it in the eyes of the coaches because he goes the distance, which means his fitness is through the roof. It's all good in Brian's case. He has a goal, and we'll see if he picks it up. Remember, he had that famous goal against the Galaxy last time they played at Bank of California Stadium. Maybe there's the good keeps going. But I'm really happy. This is one of my favorite stories from LFC this season, is watching that development for a player that was much maligned and now looking to get back on track and perhaps get back into the fold for the Uruguayan national team. This is a story that's going to be worth your time to see because he's in a really good headspace.
Yeah, well, you got to love that even when he's out, he's still celebrating. Jumping off the bench, running on the field with his parka on, loving being with his teammates. So I'm going to move us along to talk about someone else who really loves being with his teammates, Maxime Crepeau.
Yeah.
I mean, he's my number one when it comes to bringing the group together, keeping the vibe going. But in this match, it wasn't just about his personality. It was about actual saves. He was really challenged in this game. And Jessica, what is it about Maxime Crepeau and the way his style of goalkeeping that's really helping LAFC in this moment? Again, it's saves, but he's adding so much more than that.
Yeah, it's definitely not just the saves, it's the energy that he brings to the back line, and just it's on and off the field for me. He's just, since he's come in, you can just see that he's just there, and he's into this with the rest of us, right? And he's a leader from the back. And so when you see him celebrating with the fans and going to the away fans and being with his teammates to organizing the defense and making the saves and coming off of his line, that's what you really need for a team that's going to try to win things. All good teams have a goalkeeper like this, and Maxime Crepeau is probably, I mean, we've had some really good recruits, but this was definitely the most needed for this LAFC team, and he's perfect.
That's so hilarious. First it's him, then he's got Jesus Murillo and someone else I couldn't see about it. And then it's like 9 guys doing the LFC to the supporters. And he's always made that a priority, and he's done that. This wasn't Maxime Crepeau's best game, obviously by giving up 2 goals, which is what they gave up the entire season leading into it. But man, he came up with that big save. He's always alert. He knows how to position these guys in a difficult one because of the conditions, because there was a lot of chances that he had to face. He's just a really breath of fresh air for this team that continues to do all the right things. And we all feel comfortable and safe when you really didn't. This is we'll talk about Ilie Sanchez later, but this has to be the biggest signing for the club and one of the biggest in the league because it's a whole new experience from the goalkeeper out.
Facing a lot of chances is important, and I think that that's important, not just for the team, but for the supporters that have been watching this, because maybe they think to themselves, our defense is really good. That's what makes Max good. Now we got to see what he's really all about, because to Bretos' point, first half, 2 goals. You could see a keeper kind of getting lost in the shuffle, just trying to not make mistakes, but he was still coming out strong for the ball, still sure-handed, and then at the end, some great saves. I think the only one that was really weird was that ball that hooked really oddly, and luckily he didn't punch it into his own net.
We're gonna be at training tomorrow. I'm gonna ask him what was going on there because it was so odd, and it was odd because he's so perfect with all this, and it's just one that got kind of lost, and he looked at his teammates going,
Watching that replay though, seeing how much curve, like that ball just kept going. It definitely was a weird one.
Yeah, that's probably his answer.
Yeah, so somebody else who I think we're excited about what they're doing at LAFC is Steve Cherundolo, and our next trending topic is Steve pulling the right strings. So, I mean, I was so, I wouldn't say I was questioning, but I was worried a little bit about Steve Cherundolo coming in, what it would be like in comparison to Bob. And he seems to be making the right decisions at every single turn, whether it's his tactics and getting the team together, like we've already kind of spoken about, getting this team to work together and making sure guys off the bench are excited, and everybody just seems to be in a good mood. And also his in-game management, the decisions that he's making in-game are not only keeping us in games, but helping us win them. So, I mean, are we all in agreement that Steve is pulling all the right strings right now?
I'm just enjoying his smile. He's so happy in that photo.
I mean,
he is.
He does look happy.
I thought one of the hardest things that he would have to face this year is keeping everyone happy. Seems like he has. We were like, okay, there's the Chicho Mahala starting. Are those guys going to be happy if they're coming off the bench? It seems like everyone's pretty good about it. That's good coaching. We should note this is his first real head coaching job. There's going to be some peaks and valleys. There are, and hopefully not this weekend. But this is a guy who did his homework on his roster. They got players that they wanted. That was part of the coaching itself because these players become coaches on the field. So Crepeau and Ilie Sanchez, the defenders are getting better. This is a reflection of the work he's done. So I'm surprised it's happened this well, but he'll be the first to say there's a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, we make a lot of assumptions based off results. So we're saying, yeah, he's pulling all the right strings because, of course, they're winning. Or we're saying, yeah, they're having a good time because, of course, they're winning. Yeah. But to Max's point, we're watching them celebrate, and they're gathering around Steve, and Steve loves it, but then he's the first to try to get out of there because he's like, look, it's all about you guys, you players. And really, and look, there's them celebrating those.
Look how happy Brian is.
Yeah, love the three-point photos. I mean, he's striking that right balance. But the one thing you can say about Coach, we'll learn more about Steve, I think, as the season goes and what his tactics are and what he's really changed. But up front, in the first few games, all you can really say that you know Steve's doing for sure is picking the starting 11 and then making the changes. And it just seems like every single substitute that he brings in impacts the game in a good way, whether it's scoring the goal, assisting the goal, or your Sifu, and you're coming in after a long international break. He puts him in the right mind frame, says, I need you to just go in there, control the midfield a little bit different than what I had with Poncho, who was on a yellow card. So the one thing that we can say is the one thing that we know for sure he's doing, he's nailing it. Yeah. This rest of the stuff, it seems to be falling in place.
He knows his team very well, which is very high praise in my estimation. I love his comments. By the way, some people put that energy out there that Tristan Blackman, Jean Moutinho scored against their former team, and yes, the Galaxy have Raheem Edwards. So I'm just following
leader
with the commentary.
Leader in assists in MLS through 5 weeks.
I know, the 110 account shut it down pretty quickly. But I look, Taylor Collins, difference this year is the veteran experience we have throughout the squad. Lots of stabilizing personalities that will help galvanize the team to great things. Big test in Carson now, and that is the Steve effect. They wanted an experience, an MLS experienced team. They got it. It's paying off.
Well, I think if we're kind of like hedging our bets, we're like, it looks like Steve's pulling all the right strings. Whatever happens in Carson, we'll almost definitively say something, whether we like it or not. Look, if they don't do well in Carson, I know a lot of people might turn around and say, see, I told you so. But if they do well, and for right or wrong, everyone's going to go, Steve's did it. He's got it all figured out. There's still a lot of season to go no matter what. But
yeah, we have a long way to
playing
go.
In Carson, where we have not taken 3 points yet, if he's able to do that, big feather in the cap for him.
that would be a third road win. So we got to have real
That too.
expectations. Winning on the road in MLS is really hard. So
When was the last time we had 3 road wins? Had
I'm
to be
just telling
2019.
you. So
Had to be
whatever
2019.
happens, if it's not, it is a road game. It's a road game. So LAFC is already ahead of the curve on their visits.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a third. You know, we all have that friend that we're a little nervous about letting them borrow something because of the fear of never getting that item back.
Oh, come on. You take my pens all the time.
I was making a dramatic pause, sorry.
Oh.
I was looking at pins.
That was your best acting work of the season.
It's usually me. I'm usually that guy. Just so you know, you're not alone. This is the subject matter of this week's Class of 22.
No, nobody looks like that in the group, you know.
Murillo.
24.
Tony Leone.
Mamadou Fall. Hey, it's happened in the past.
What didn't you get back?
Paracletes.
That's Fall. No questions asked.
Cheeky.
Probably Cheekies.
Cheeky too.
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
Latif. Siempre se queda con las cosas.
Chiqui, ¿verdad? Chiqui.
Hammering Cheeky, but hold on.
It was a revelation with Brian. Yeah, Chiqui, la verdad, Chiqui.
Yeah. Christian Torres loaned Mamadou Fall cleats? How? In what world is that possible? Unless Christian Torres got some skis on his feet.
Well, you never know, but sometimes guys like a little more compact. We talked about it last week on Expansion Mansion with the boots. Maybe a little looser fit, it works.
Not me, man. I always
I've
seem to
never
be-
worn anybody else's cleats, so I have
Oh, yeah.
nothing to add.
That's like a
here.
whole nother level, right?
Yeah, I just feel. I mean, I guess. No, I don't see a reason. Like, I don't see a reason to wear somebody else's cleats.
Weirder
especially if they
thing,
don't-
wearing someone else's cleats or shin pads.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I don't even wear my
I think
son's
it-
slips. And I'm like,
I think
no,
it
I
has
don't want
to be
them.
the cleats are more nasty, but we know if you've had shin guards before, those things.
I talked to Oliver over there about the kit. You know, hey, can we get an extra pair of shoes so he doesn't have to borrow Mamadou's?
All right, we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll get to the bottom of this. But right now, player ratings are always a fun exercise, especially after a win. But you know what's even more fun than doing your own ratings? It's making fun of Max's player rating. So Max, the floor is yours, and I would say to everybody in the chat, as Max is giving out his ratings, we would like to see your rating. So here we go. He's going to start from the back. Let's get the chat's rating. Let's get Max. Let's compare. Let's compare notes.
I'm going to say I don't enjoy this as much as you would think because the players are rated.
You're under a lot of pressure here.
I'm under a lot of pressure here. I
You
just
know
wanna say
Jessica
that.
and I are just daggers.
And look, it wasn't a perfect game, but it was a great performance by LAFC.
It's a
getting
4-2
3
win,
points
but a weird one.
in a game. I think everyone thought this was the one they were going to lose. It was untenable, but they
Well.
tended. They tenable
Okay.
it.
Rate with caution there.
Maxime Crépeau did give a couple goals.
Yep.
This guy's already got 2 clean sheets. And
Most goals in one game he's given up all season.
we put the expectations through the roof. So I have to temper it a little bit. Still, everything he does makes me feel at ease. So let's go 7.2
Ooh, okay.
for Maxime.
That's where the bar is starting. Maxime was like my man of the match, but I'm going to go
He was
with
your
you
man
on
of the
seven.
match of the game?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like he really saved our.
He did.
But-
He did. I have a different man of the match.
Okay.
You'll soon
Well,
find
I
out.
guess we will find out in these ratings.
Ryan Hollingshead, we'll have to look at the goal of Matinho. He got pulled in a little bit. If you're the right back, that's your responsibility, even if it was supposed to be someone backing track. So that one sticks out, but better on the left than the right. And
Yes.
hats off to having a player like this that can play these 2 positions. It's very, very valuable. So, I mean, I'll put that into the ratings as well, but I'll do 6.6.
Okay, that's about fair.
The number of the
Yeah,
beast.
he was up against it. He was up against it at the right.
Yeah.
Number of the beast for Hollingshead.
6. Okay, some
All right, let's go on our center backs.
everyone loves my penmanship. I agree. Jesus Murillo, he scored a goal, almost scored 2. What can you say? I love the plays that he makes that he may have forced last season. Clearly, he's got the message, and he makes the safe play. So that's progress, a goal, 7.1.
Okay.
What was his rating as
Do you
a
like the
center?
percentages, or I should just go solid?
What was his rating as a center forward? Yeah.
Let's do
Do
what?
what's in your heart.
Do what's in your heart. People getting 6s for Max? Or is that for me? No, this is for Crépeau. That
I
is
think-
a bit
I
high.
think the
Hey,
sixes-
that was his man of the match.
The
He's
6s
still-
might have been for Hollingshead.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
did. I gave him 2 6s.
I feel like Hollingshead is a
Man of the match, 8.5. You got to tell me who you're saying. Maria's been solid. Mamadou Fall didn't mention his name a lot, which
Nope.
is good. And also doing the same thing as Jesus Murillo. There was one where he just dumped it into
Yeah.
Rose, as they say in Britain.
You
so
hate that.
good. Because he didn't get, I'll give him 7.0. But I love these two and the partnership they're developing.
I think that's fair.
Right.
Fair for them. Okay.
I'm terrified.
Yep.
8. Okay, I don't know. Let's do 2 decimals. Okay. Chiqui Palacios. Everyone's scoring defensively. The pressure's on him, as Jessica was touching on. We got to get him a goal. Coming back from international duty, not all 5 internationals played or started. I think it was him and Crepeau. Goalkeeper, you can, because it's not as physically demanding. So I'll give him a pass there, but we'll get a little better. We'll go 6.7.
I mean, he had to travel pretty far.
Yeah.
And played most of the game. Managed to avoid a yellow till close to the end with this referee that was giving out yellows like candy.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Hey, tough. These are tough but fair, Max. Keep
What do you
keep it
mean
going.
tough? 7's a good score,
That's
right?
fine. Well, what's the baseline? 5 or 6? I think in Italy
6
they
is
start
average.
with like a 6 as average.
Yeah.
Everything
6
above
is
6
average.
is so
he's
everyone's
slightly-
above average.
Slightly above average. Well, they won,
Yeah.
but you're not.
All right, you do this. I've had just about
you're
enough.
not giving it 10. No, I'm saying you're doing a good job.
All right, I'm gonna change
you're
it
the
up
one
here.
that's so worried here. Go through
Steve
the midfield.
Blessing has been just wonderful the last 3 weeks, filling gaps where there is required. The work rate's always there. We're just fortunate that we have him still on this roster here and what he's able to do. So let's go 7.3.
Okay.
He's another one that could feel a little bit like, oh, I'm not starting anymore. But I mean,
But he's jumped in there.
Yeah, he's doing it. So, yep.
Put together a couple good performances.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Ilie Sanchez, I don't want to yap too much. This is a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Shouldn't be on the bench for team of the week.
In
should
the
be in the full 11.
in the MVP debate, if you give number 6s that kind of, which they should. To me, the most important position on the field.
If
The
João
most
Paulo,
important position.
if João Paulo is getting some shine, then Ilie Sanchez has to be in that conversation.
9. We got Ilie 9.
9. There you
See,
go.
we're in agreement.
He's been doing so well.
Sanchez 9.
9.
I actually in rehearsals gave him a 10, but because of just getting reamed about the market, I brought it down to a
I'll let
9.
you give him a 10. I mean, like,
I couldn't give him a 10 and someone
You see
a 7.
the power that we have over Max? This is great.
I know. He looks so nervous. I
terrifying.
love this. You're so
Pancho got pulled off, had the yellow card, got a little testy. Obviously,
Not a yellow card.
yeah. It was interesting because that's his guy.
Yeah.
Araujo, those guys grew up together, and they look like they hated each
Well,
other.
Montevideo Wanderers, no?
Yes, they're so. It's good to see Pancho start, put the work in, but it's still work.
The yellow card really
Yeah.
hampered the way he
So we'll
played.
go
6.
6.3.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The decimal
Fine.
points are saving my butt.
I know they are. It gives him a chance
6.33.
to like bail himself out. I like it. I like it.
You know, I see the lower
6.33
scores.
repeating,
I'm
you
always
got the
going to err on the
little line
nice one.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be the
Front three.
scapegoat because it was the yellow card obviously changed all that. Carlos Vela, the beautiful thing about Carlos right now, and look, he's leads the league in scoring, right? No one's got 5 yet, or do they?
Yeah, a lot of guys are tied at 4, I think.
A lot of guys are tied at 4.
Him, Zelleron, Chicharito.
He had the hat trick at the beginning, had an assist here in that beautiful goal by Brian Rodriguez. I love that Carlos Vela has not got all that weight on his shoulders. So really solid effort as always. Let's go 7.7.
There's not many players in the league that could have made that pass, but to your point, it's not all on his shoulders. So he makes that pass. He's like, good. You guys did the rest. We're good.
Sevens for Vela, no shots. There were no shots, but that's what I'm saying. He's not having to
There
put
weren't a
himself
lot
in
of shots from people.
There's
period.
no room.
Yeah.
There's no room with Jesus Murillo up there getting all
Yeah.
the shots, as we brought up earlier.
It's true.
I mean, very little shots, 4 goals. I mean,
Vela 7.0. All right,
Maria.
all right.
It's like when they
let's go
used to- when Tony Adams used to go
7.4
up
then.
Top.
gosh. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Change it to 7.4.
Okay.
Okay.
The room made me change it. So Chicharito.
It looks like one of those inflatable guys.
Yeah, it does.
It is. And I did
Okay.
that by accident.
What about Chicho? Chicho had an assist.
Chicho, an assist, step in the right direction. Still a long way to go with fitness and whatever else. He knows what's up. He knows
Hold up
what's
play
up.
was great. Passing was great. To that person that said Carlos got no shots, I don't think Chicho had a shot.
No.
So that's still work in progress.
I think you played pretty well.
6.9.
Okay.
Chicho 7.5. Chicho 7.2. People are getting into the
Wow.
decimals.
You got to
People-
change
stay
it
strong,
now.
Max.
People are saying that you made it too low. You have to change it now.
No, I'm not changing it.
People really love Chicho. I think 7.5.
Brian Rodriguez, I
Pressing
love
wasn't-
I love it. He's it's been great because I sat there and heard everything said about him, and some of it was earned. Some of it was earned about a guy who was not here a lot of the time. He was with Uruguay, and he really recalibrated. And I always remind you, he's 21 years old. His career is just getting started. He's figured things out. You see him at training, and you see the relationship he has. It's good to see this. And again, going the full distance in games makes it there. 8.8. I think the score should have been a little bit higher overall, but very good.
Well, I want to point out again, he's doing things that he wasn't doing before. Finding that area in the defense where he could go, be in front of the goal, be dangerous. But on the other side of the ball, I don't think we've talked about enough. Brian was really putting in a shift, back pressing or back checking, as they say. He was really helping out his wingers in a time when Orlando was just going 2-3 guys on the side to really overload us. Brian was being cognizant of that, and I think that really helps.
Interesting scores for Raito, and I love the lightning
if Chicho is a
emojis.
7.5, Brian has to be higher. That's all I got to say.
Brian was great. I loved how he adapted. He goes, I'm not beating these guys one-on-one, as you said. I'm gonna find a way to impact this game, and he did.
Yep.
And he scored it. So Brian Rodriguez, really enjoy it because his development is great for the club because they get results, and it's great for the player. So good.
He's becoming an all-around player.
He is.
He's no longer just a
That's
1v1
huge.
Merchant.
Huge. I hope you're paying attention, Diego Alonso. Ojo, as they say for the national team managers. There it is. There it is. The Raito. We can't see it. Yeah,
I would
you can.
love it.
The lightning strikes.
They can definitely see it.
One of the best rivalries in all of Major League Soccer is renewed this weekend. Galaxy, LAFC at their place. In honor of this game, we all have marked on our calendars. We're debuting a new game on the show. It's called Stop and Go.
Cool.
We'll be given a phrase or scenario that could happen this weekend. It will hold up a red stop sign if we disagree, or a green one if we agree. So, you guys got it?
Do you know what I like about this? The little bit of wink, tongue-in-cheek to a name that people don't really like, but we're going to talk some real football about it. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. Word.
All right.
Okay.
First one. First question.
I got to look at the big screen. I can't see that far.
No, definitely not.
Chicharito is the best player on the pitch. The Galaxy will win. He does one thing. It's score goals.
Yeah.
So if he is the best player on the pitch, it means he scored a goal or two.
Yeah.
Or the game winners, you said.
or the game winner. There's no way that you're going to say, wow, Chicharito put in a real defensive performance, or wow, Chicharito is beating guys 1v1, or wow, Chicharito spraying passes all over the pitch, which could mean you were the best player. But if he's scoring goals, that's how he'll be the best player. And if he's scoring goals, probably means they're winning.
Yeah, we definitely have to find a way to shut him down. He's another one that's on 4 goals for the season. He looks like he's on form, which sucks, so hopefully we have a plan ready for him.
He can have 10 touches.
You know where he's going to be.
He can have 10 touches, score 3 goals.
He's going to be between those 2 posts, between the center backs. He's going to find space, but he finds space.
You do know where he's going to be, but then somehow he's
savant.
not there the next time you check.
He's really
All right,
good.
let's move on to the next one.
I love specialists. Vales.
Carlos Vela will answer the call. Oh!
So now you changed.
I did.
Okay, so
I'm going to do this because I have a better answer for this.
Okay.
yeah. So I guess I just feel like Carlos Vela is not gonna have to take over the game and do everything for LAFC. We've already kind of said that we have goals coming from everywhere. Players are stepping up. We haven't really seen that before, and so I don't necessarily feel like he needs to put his cape on and save us for this game for it to work. That doesn't mean that I don't think he needs to have a good game. He definitely needs to be involved, but I can see somebody like B-Rod stepping up, maybe Mamadou Fall stepping up. There's other players out there that can help him out. So that's my whole thing, but I do think he's gonna have a good game.
You see what Soccer USA says? LAFC's got to be a nightmare to scout. Who's gonna score? And that's the right answer for Jessica said it, is the pressure is not on Carlos Vela to come out and score 2 goals and get the difference. So many different people have scored goals. It's incredible. And the number keeps flying up here. So I expect Carlos Vela to have a big game. So I expect a...
Yeah.
But if it's not Carlos, someone else will.
Oh, great.
Look at you.
Someone else will find a way.
Oh, we're off the
But
rails.
Carlos, this is a beautiful thing about this team. It is not so much on the shoulders of Carlos Vela.
It is a beautiful thing, and I think that it bodes well before this matchup. But y'all forgot that Carlos Vela is the #1 scorer in this rivalry. He lives for this game. Don't forget, there's still a contract waiting to possibly come his way. It's getting closer and closer, so he loves this game. He rises to the occasion of this game. He's the king of Los Angeles.
Luis
LA.
Perez, if it's a goal and assist, that's a
LA.
big green light for Carlos
All right,
Vela.
let's move on to the next one. Another slow start will doom LAFC. So if I say go, it means if they start slow, they're losing. Okay.
You want to go, Vince, or you want me to go?
We got. Where's Bretos gonna go? He's gonna say
Bretos.
no.
No.
Or no, he's in. We're all in. We're all in
It's
agreement.
red.
Yeah, I just think
It's a bad habit, as we said, and it's going to bite you in the rear if you keep doing it. But LAFC has fallen behind in this game before. And it's going to be tough winning on the road. You want to put yourself in the best position to win. I would say don't fall behind. It's a good way to do that.
of all the times of watching this team and all the teams, is there one that I would say they could fall behind and pull it out? It would be this one. However, I just think the amount of energy you have to spend to get out of that hole, and then not to mention the fact that you're going to be away, and this is the one time that Carson fans are louder than ever.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a wave, and I don't think you can push back on that. It's going to be like fighting against the ocean. You can't start slow in this game.
Yeah, I don't want us to learn this harsh lesson. I really don't. And the last couple of games just have to be where Steve says, okay, enough. We've done this. Like, we need to come out and start well. And I just don't think in such a big matchup you want to even risk it. Yeah, anything can happen in these kind of derby type matches, but I don't even think you'd want to risk it against the Galaxy. They don't look like they're that bad. So
It was a big response this weekend to get that win in Portland.
Yeah.
That was big time for
I
the
wouldn't
Galaxy.
want to risk it in this particular.
Before we move on to the next question, let's say they do start slow and they manage to turn around like they have done all season. You'd still have to be worried about starting slow, right? Just because they were able to do that against their rivals, I'd still be worried about that because, like you said, it's going to catch up to you sooner or later.
It's never been something that you can look at and say like, oh, that's a good trait for a team to have. Like, no.
There you Galaxy coming out hot versus Portland. Got to address it. They did it. They got 3 points.
Yeah.
All right. The El Trafico winner is the MLS Cup front runner.
So let's break that down. That says that whoever wins this is now the betting favorite in MLS Cup.
No, it just means that MLSsoccer.com will say that they're number one in the power rankings. It means they're going all the way.
case.
Come on, the media sets the narrative. The front runner is only a media narrative.
I would like to just preface this by saying it was a pretty dark moment for Los Angelino football at the end of last season when both these teams were left out of the playoffs. High tide raises all ships. I wanted the Galaxy to do well for Portland to make this rivalry feel any bigger. They did that. Both teams come in here, so we're all winning here in LA because this is going to be a big event. We couldn't have said that at the beginning of the year, but now it feels that way because LAFC's exceeded expectations. And the Galaxy, to a lesser degree, but also has done that. So I'm really thrilled that we have this game. It's exciting, and as every day gets closer, it's going to get bigger and bigger.
All right, I'm a little surprised that Jessica's in with us because
Yeah,
normally
no,
she
I
doesn't
mean-
buy into the hype.
So my thing is like, yeah, like it's a long season and we can't get ahead of ourselves. Like in terms of the LAFC fan base, like even if we win this game, which I think we will, there's still a long season to go. And there's other really good teams out there. So I would just say like we can just hold our horses just a little bit. But
You don't want to hold your
yes,
horses.
Yes, everybody will be saying that we're the best and like, yeah, I'll eat that up. And like, I want that. I want that everywhere online. Inject it.
YOLO Dolo.
Yeah.
You only live once. Dolo ball. Let's go.
This
YOLO
one, look, hey, look, LAFC have done great, but if they drop points, if they lose this game, it's gonna be interesting. People are gonna be bummed out.
All right,
Yeah.
last one, and this is speaking of Steve Cherundolo. Let's take a look here. Steve Cherundolo is the reason LAFC will finally win in Carson.
You guys are so negative.
No, I don't. It's not because I don't think they'll win. I have to see Steve tomorrow, and he would say, "Don't." It's all about players.
There it is.
He's a players coach. It's all about players. You know that's what he would say. So I'm just gonna stay on his good side.
Well, going back to the pulling all the right strings, I do think that his in-game management might be a boost for us in this game. If things do get, I don't know, if we do go down, he'll be able to make the right substitution to get us back level or win the game. He'll have us tactically set up right. I think that Steve can be the difference in this match. So
Okay.
He's part of the reason. He's not the reason. And John Thorrington, for what he did in the offseason, and these players for coming here and adjusting so quickly, not only to the team, but to the city, is why LAFC have a really good shot to win this game and perhaps finish with the trophy at the end. So, and again, Steve Cherundolo would say it's not just me. He's still learning it. He's still getting acclimating to this coaching thing.
Yeah, I raised this
Head coaching
because I have to see Steve, but I do agree with you. I mean, a change in approach and maybe a change in some ideas in the way we're doing things, really could bode well for this team, but you know Steve's never going to take full credit.
Nico the Pug, he might have it more figured out than we think. Could be. I apologize for this, by the way. That's
Yeah, way to go there, Max. Well, Max figures out how to fix the popsicle stick on that. We're not going to do that in the next show, so you don't really have to worry about it. Guys, why don't you go ahead and send in your fan questions? I've got a few that have been sent to me via Twitter, via the old Twitters, and they're good ones. So let's start with those while you guys start formulating your questions. Here's one. What are the chances this LAFC team repeats what was done in 2019 in the 2019 regular season? And that's from Jesus. What are the chances?
as in record-breaking?
Record-breaking, crushing teams. Remember what the records were too? It was like points, it was wins, it was goal differential, it was goal score. It was like everything.
They've answered the bell so many times. I wouldn't rule it out.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had a challenging schedule, right? These two Florida trips. I think that may be the issue.
To bring 6 points home from both those Florida trips?
That's why I would say it's not possible, because you can't. They have a lot of road trips out east that they didn't have last season. That's why New England probably won it in many ways. But it's that'll handicap the chances of them doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind, the summer, if there's some holes in this LAFC team, they're going to fill it. They have that DP available, so this team could get better. It's they know what levels they can reach, but I think it's gonna be tough because of these East Coast trips. But so far, that's not the case.
I think we've all said that they have to get better.
Yeah.
They could. It's not a foregone conclusion, but do you think it could happen?
I think it's when a team does so well and they beat so many records, I think you have to be just I don't know. I feel like it's going to be so hard. Like, there's such a slim chance of that actually happening. But if there is a team that can do it, I think this team may be able to, because not only do they have the quality, the depth, the experience, but they're kind of a new proposition here in the MLS. This is a different LAFC team that people aren't really used to yet. So I do think maybe you can get over on some teams before they catch up to you and figure out what you're doing. And hopefully by that time we've went up a level. So I do think it's a slim chance, but if there is a team that can do it, it's probably this team.
I want to touch on one. I just saw it really quickly from Luis Hernandez. Biggest game for LAC after the Galaxy game. I got one for you. I think it's May the 7th against Philadelphia.
Yep.
Who are the top team in the East, doing everything right. We'll talk about them in expansion match in Philadelphia. I've been really impressed. I think that's going to be a fun one. The Eastern Conference, Western Conference dynamic, I was thinking maybe we stick to the West. I was wrong about that. I'm glad we have these Eastern Conference teams. It's more fun. It's from a spectator's view. So
Andreas is asking for our starting 11. I don't want to do a full starting 11 because that'll take a lot of time. So let's instead, and no offense to you, Andreas, that's going to take so much time.
No offense to you, Andreas. I would take offense, Andreas.
Yeah. No, but I like Jair's because it's a little bit shorter and it's along the same veins. Which of the two start versus Carson? B-Rod, Opoku, Chicho? I think
it's got to be Mahala, right?
You go.
I mean, he comes off the bench and answers
that way.
You know what?
I think it's Chicho. Because I think coming off the bench is what you might need in this match. And Chicho,
he was so good off the bench.
Yeah, having a reference point early when you might be feeling some pressure I think the Galaxy are going to come out hot. And I think you got to have a guy that's an out ball that can hold up the ball like he did for that goal. He started that goal in Orlando by holding it up at the touchline. I think we're really going to need that. Although the flip side of it is his pressing wasn't so great against Orlando. Yeah. So if they can talk to him throughout the week and go, hey, look, this is where you need to be. These are the angles you need to take. But then when we have sat deep a little bit, you can get free and you can hold up the ball. I think Chicho's the right approach. And B-Rod's, there's no way B-Rod's not starting.
I was watching the Portland Galaxy game, and when they pressed Depew and there was some, a good press will get some fruit for LAFC here for sure.
Yeah. I would say, like, even though I'm a big Mahala person, I do think maybe Mahala at home when we're, in an advantageous position. But yeah, Chicho away from home in a difficult game, and then making sure Mahala comes off the bench if things.
You guys want to go somewhere here next, or I got another good Twitter one?
You know what you got to do. I got a couple in there, but we really appreciate it. This is what we want. We can flesh all of this out.
Make sure I want to go like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Exactly.
Our producer in my ear said stick to the chat, but I'm not going to. I want to go on Twitter because I got one from Twitter that's kind of, now I love your guys' questions.
Controversial?
Well, no, I love your guys.
Look, they all left. Great. Nice work there, Vince.
Peace. No, I love your questions about the game, and I love your questions about coaching changes and all you guys want tactics, and I love that we can have a football talk because a lot of what Max and I are told in this industry is, oh, you got to do lifestyle stuff. We're not ready yet for football, and we all know that that's not true. You guys are ready for football. You guys are students of the game. Ilya Sanchez told us he understands that the fans out here in LA really know and love the game, so I will applaud you on that. But I got a question that is a little bit fun. I want a little bit of fun sometimes. They asked, what is on your playlist for Carson? I like a little bit of off the wall. You know, ESPN FC gets some off the wall questions asking the personality stuff. So I want to know what's on your playlist. Although
Luis just burned you.
What?
Let's all leave and go to Twitter. Nice.
Well, I mean, follow me on Twitter. But no, what's on your playlist? I mean, someone asked you to do a Paul McCartney impersonation, so I'm sure Wings. No?
I know Ted Nugent's a very controversial figure. But
yeah.
But let's separate the man and the music. The song Stranglehold is the ultimate song to hype you up for a big rivalry game. If that doesn't hype you up, I don't know what will.
Jessica, what would you be listening to on your trip down?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna listen to like "We Will Rock You" or anything like that. We're gonna keep
nothing
it cool
too
around
cliche.
here. So I think because we're the actual LA team and the Galaxy is the Carson team, I would listen to Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, "Grinding All My Life." That's definitely a song that gets me up in the gym. It's not really like a bumping song, but it's definitely one that's like, yeah, this is the groove.
La Chona is another one.
Yeah.
You have to listen to at least on this weekend.
You know what always gets me pumped for the games, and it has, you know, a slight soccer reference to it, although not at all soccer reference.
Okay.
MC5, Kick Out the Jams. Come on, kick out the jams.
You're an old soul.
Y'all are old.
I know. By the way, the LAFC, the new LAFC anthem with "Be Real" and
I like
DJ Kidding,
LAFC anthem. Yeah,
Yes.
I like that one.
Do it for LA. Kick Out the Jams has the best intro to a song ever, and all it is the lead singer saying, "Kick out the jams, mother effers."
I like
that's what I
that.
gotta say. All right, guys, don't forget that this and every 110 football show is available as a podcast as well as a show on YouTube. So if you're on the go and still want to hear the show, then search the 110 football in your podcast app of choice. Okay, so from here, guys, we are going to go to stoppage time. For those of you that are new, there's the
most mysterious part of soccer.
I love that we
stoppage
put
time.
110 football on the sign. This is our chance to pick any topic. We can go completely off script, any topic. Let's see, who do we have first for stoppage time this week?
Max.
It's Max. Max, lead us off. What's your stoppage time topic? Take it away.
I've said it before. It bears repeating. And I remember Chiva Mayor Julio, I talked about him because when the playoffs were happening, 2019, and it was the Galaxy or Minnesota, I was saying, well, let's pull for the Galaxy here. Do you want that game here, or do you want to play Minnesota? You get to exercise some demons, and it's an LA event. That was one of the 3 biggest games in MLS history. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be big. The league needs this. When there was no LA teams in the playoffs last season, they felt it. Bad to miss one, but both. So LAFC beating the Galaxy, if the Galaxy are mid-table, is just not the same if they're both up there. So this is big for the city. Embrace it. Go out, talk trash to your neighbor who could be a Galaxy fan or vice versa. And let's build this up to be one of the big rivalries, because it can be. But part of that is when they're both doing well. The personalities are there. Remember, we haven't had Vela and Chicharito in a game. Knock on wood. It looks like we're going to get that. So for one reason or another, they're always injured. This is big, and I'm thrilled, and we all should be thrilled that we're here, the epicenter of football in the United States this weekend.
All right, Jess, you're up. What do you got leading into a big match? Bring it.
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, about having so many different scorers, so many guys that are pitching in. And right now we have 8 different guys on the score sheet. That's huge for a team that I feel like going into the season, it was like, okay, what is Chicho and B-Rod and Vela going to do? We need them to score all the goals. People are really stepping up. We have Tajuri Shroudy. Vela's obviously scored goals. Mahala, B-Rod, Fall, Hollingshead, Sanchez, B-Rod, Murray, like that is what big teams do. They have guys stepping up from every single position. And in a game like the ones against the Galaxy, there may be, our bigger players might get marked out of the game. They may have a really difficult time because they're the known guys. everybody who's not really being marked, the guys that are not really being looked at, are going to have to step up in these difficult matches. And so don't be surprised if you see a goal from a center back. Don't be surprised if you see a goal that you didn't see coming from Ilie Sanchez. Don't be surprised.
Cheeky. We got to get cheeky that goal.
Cheeky. We have to get cheeky. Don't be surprised if Kripo. No, I'm just kidding. He's not going to score a goal. It would be great if he did. But I just think it's one of those things we have to get used to, and also remember that this helps with Vela and B-Rod and Chicho to relax, so that when they do get in front of goal, they're not snatching, they're not trying to overdo it. They can relax because they know that the rest of their team is going to step up as well. I think that's a big thing for this particular team, especially with Vela, who's our guy. We don't want him being so stressed out.
All right.
I like that. The stress-free Carlos. That's good.
Yeah, stress-free.
Stick around longer.
Carlos is stress-free. He lives a charmed life. I like that I get to go last because I love both your points. But I just want to reiterate a point that was made by both the Galaxy and LAFC last week, and we need to continue it through to this week. Guys, this rivalry is a shining example for the league. However, it is also for good and for bad. There will be a microscope on all of us. I don't just mean the supporters. I mean from the supporters to the casual fans to just anyone showing up to Dignity Health Sports Park for this match. You guys have to be that shining example. We know the way rivalry should go. They're all about on the field. You can have some banter. It's about cheering your team on and being as loud as you possibly can in your own stadium, in an opposition stadium. As Max said, you can show your colors and be out there and be proud of your team in LA. But make sure that that's where it stays. The fight is on the field. It is not in the stands, especially with everything that's going on in the world, especially with what went on in Mexico. And this has happened a couple times where it's gotten a little bit too far in these matches. And I think that I want to applaud the Galaxy and LAFC for putting out that message. So guys, let's keep it clean. Let's keep this rivalry one of the most beautiful things we have. And again, be a shining example for the league and for the world for that matter.
It's good, the point about LAFC and the Galaxy doing something together, because that didn't happen in the past. So I mean, we both can benefit from this rivalry, but they have to put good intentions and within their power do those things that they can control to make sure it's clean, it's entertaining, and everyone has a good time.
Yep. No one,
good.
No one should go to a match and be afraid that physical violence will be brought upon them. You can be afraid because the chanting's loud and you're afraid of what's going to happen in the match. You're worried, all that, but you should not.
You can go to the match and say, you suck, Bretos, so you're blue in the face, by the way. That's fine. You can
Jessica's got the right mentality.
I want to say hi. Was it?
No violence.
I can't remember later.
All right.
But I got a you suck Bretos in Redondo Beach.
That was such.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I forgot his name. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. He's always on the podcast.
Oh, I love it. All right.
And by the way, come back here to the 110 Football YouTube channel at 4 p.m. today, 4 p.m. Pacific, for those who may be joining us on the East Coast for
or maybe
MLS
even
show.
In Australia, if you're BAM.
The Expansion Mansion. We'll be joined by former MLS and Liga MX defender Mariano Trujillo. We're going to break down all the big stories that emerged over the weekend around the league. Come back and join us. It was Adrian who saw me there in Redondo Beach and gave me a you suck, Bretos.
Adrian. Good man, Adrian. He's heard that story that I love to tell. That's my favorite Bretos story.
Yeah.
Also, we have more great content coming for you this week on the 110 Football YouTube channel. Thursday, we're back again. Football Without Borders at 4 p.m. We'll break down the first legs of the Champions League quarterfinals. All the title races are heating up around the globe. Plus, we welcome a new addition to the 110 Football family. Let's just say she has a fantastic CV, so don't miss that show. And then this Saturday, it's the big game we're all looking forward to. It's all we can think about this week. The Black and Gold head into enemy territory to take on the Galaxy. Connor and I will be there. More details to follow soon. We'll be on the 110 Football YouTube channel, though, and it's a secret for right now. We're putting big plans. We're putting it together.
I want to give you an explanation for your shirt. A lot of people are asking.
Yeah, this is from Icarus FC. It's just a shirt that they made for the Puebla of Los Angeles. It says 1781, the founding of that, and it just looks really cool. And what better week to wear this shirt?
And by the way, not one comment about the Angus Young Gato shirt. I mean, come on. Angus Young is a cat. It's cute.
I'm used to the lightning bolt actually meaning something. Like it should have.
Dirty deeds.
It shouldn't work. What do you think?
All right. I like this better.
All right.
Everyone else too.
We'll see you in Carson, guys.
Hi, my name is Ilie Sanchez. You're watching 110 Football.